Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Hey, great to have you with us on this beautiful Monday morning. 888-933. It's beautiful. It's tremendous. Tremendous start to the week. We've got the bingo card, brand new bingo card, which will be pinned to the top of our Twitter page at Pat Unleashed. And it starts in the upper left-hand corner with cluster event. Mostly peaceful protest. That's going to be almost a free square. Then this particular sound, which really we don't play much anymore because Jeffy sort of ruined it.
He stole it from you.
He uses it every other word now. Keith is hangry. Drowning polar bear. Is that from?
No, that's your. There you go.
That's okay.
It. Yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
By all that is good and holy. Probably another free square-ish. Gadon the American.
Pull every last one of your soldiers,
spies, security advisors, trainers, attachés, hairdressers,
out of every
interior
Muslim
decorators, from Afghanistan to Zanzibar.
It's been too long.
So much as one single American soldier or spy remain on Islamic soil,
right?
It shall be considered sufficient justification
to
for us
continue
our defensive jihad.
You know, I'm sorry, but if you call it Islamic instead of Islamic
and jihad instead of jihad,
that's worth a drone in.
It is.
Yeah.
And he got one. So, because we hate the next square, we have one from Joe Biden, which this.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Racist.
Oops. Uh-oh.
Wealthy kids. Black kids. Asian kids.
Kids who climb on rocks. Tough kids. Sissy kids. Even kids with chicken pox are almost as good as white kids. Okay?
Almost.
So, just over and over this guy. That's just Joe. That's his way. Don't worry about it. Yeah, he doesn't think there's any diversity in the black community. He said it multiple times. That's just Joe being Joe.
I mean, seriously.
It's just Joe.
If someone slips a racist comment into their conversation during a day, we should just start calling it, oh, you pulled a Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's just
kind of to that point.
Repetitive with this guy.
Then we've got it's criminal. Then next line starts out with an oldie but a goodie from Barack Obama.
I chose my friends carefully. The more politically active black students, the foreign students, the Chicanos, the Marxist professors, and structural feminists, and punk rock performance poets.
Structural feminists.
We smoked cigarettes and wore leather jackets. At night in the dorms, we discussed neocolonialism.
Oh, yeah.
Rebels, man.
Eurocentrism and patriarchy.
Eurocentrism.
When we ground out our cigarettes on the hallway carpet, we set our stereos so loud that the walls began to shake.
We're so
we were
tough.
resisting bourgeois society's stifling constraints.
You know, when I was a kid, someone like that amounted to nothing. They didn't become president of the United States.
It's a sad commentary on our society.
It sure
that he
is.
did.
I tell you. I know in college, we weren't discussing neocolonialism. We were playing NHLPA hockey on a Sega Genesis, but who am I to judge?
Yeah, but were you playing them with Marxist professors and Chicanos?
I would have kicked their asses if I was.
Jeffy, talking about being athletically overweight. Ruining a heartwarming story. We're good at that. That's easy. Unplanned donation. That's usually a reference to the looters. The scream. I believe you have that.
No, Martin hit us with Icelandic. Icelandic scream.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV. That was from the cognitive test that President Trump took. Then we have this from Hillary.
I don't feel no ways tired.
So good. I will thank you not to mock. Al Roker, and one of my favorites of all time.
You pooped in your pants.
I pooped my pants.
What? I mean,
you pooped in your pants.
I pooped my pants. You did what?
You pooped in your pants.
I pooped my pants.
Jeffy excuses something shady.
Oh.
Another free square. Keith plugs his At the Mic podcast.
Oh, that's right. In fact, Jason Buttrell is this week's guest.
Chief researcher of the Glenn Beck program. We explained something to Judy. And then, this is an oldie, but an incredible goodie.
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps.
And
I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and Iraq,
everywhere like such as, which is what we're looking for there.
Thank you, Miss South Carolina.
Everywhere like such as. Keep in mind, that was from 2007. And it's still a hit to this day. Subtle nuances and gobbledygook. That's one I'm not.
No, I don't know. I mean, we'll
gobbledygook. Okay.
We'll. It'll be obvious when we use that one, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that should stand out. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Over the weekend, things continued to just get better and better in our society.
Huh.
Yeah, there was the protesters now. The BLM protesters are making their way to the suburbs and to wealthy neighborhoods, and taking out their ire on just anybody and everybody, even people who agree with them. Which it's great, I guess, because this has got to piss some people off. In the middle of the night, wandering through Georgetown, here's Black Lives Matter protesters. Wake your asses up. Wow. They've got bullhorns. They're banging on pots and pans, just making sure everybody's awake. And
they are showing up in suburbs all across America, and in many cases, getting a beat down.
In many cases, what are you going to do but give them a beat down?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to call the cops. Are the cops going to come? I don't know. I don't know, because they don't want to get involved with this.
They warned the suburbs. They said, you're next.
Yep.
And here they are.
Going through suburbs. These are liberals. Georgetown, filled with liberals.
Right.
These are people who agree with Black Lives Matter. And you're going through their neighborhood, trying to, on purpose, in the middle of the night, waking them up. And that helps you how? How does that help you in any way? I would, if it's my neighborhood, I'm going to be really pissed and somewhat concerned. And I might be like the McCluskeys and show up outside with a little show of force, just to let you know, you better stay away from my house and my family, because you're not getting in here. I don't know what your intention is when you're walking through a neighborhood in the dead of night, yelling and screaming and using bullhorns. How do I know what you're going to do? I don't know what your intent is. It's crazy. This is absolutely nuts. And they just keep doing it.
And it's the new normal.
I hate that. I just hate it.
But I mean, it not only applies to like a COVID-19 conversation, but it's what's happening in our streets too.
I think I've mentioned before the protest in Houston when I lived in Houston, and I think it was like 2003 or 4 or 5, I don't know, in there somewhere, where the janitors in the downtown buildings went on strike. So all the janitors went on strike. We're not going to clean buildings anymore. I don't know. They're making certain demands. I don't remember
Houston
what they were.
Houston is a city that can't go along without a cleaning. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's for sure. With that heat and humidity. Ooh-wee. But they bust in all kinds of protesters from unions like whatchamacallit?
SEIU.
SEIU. That's exactly where they were from. And they drove into intersections and dumped garbage in the middle of the intersections. What? People didn't appreciate that. That didn't get anybody on their side. So why do they keep doing this where they're antagonizing people who otherwise might side with them?
Right. PETA dumped a huge truckload of chicken poop in the middle of a main intersection in Atlanta years ago.
Not a good way.
Did their ranks swell after that? Oh,
Kinda
my
doubt
goodness.
it.
So now that there's chicken poop, now I see your point. I'm going to join PETA.
Thanks for making my life worse.
Yeah.
Now I'm on your side. I don't get it. It's just bizarre. And so this tactic, you got to believe, would backfire on them, especially in liberal neighborhoods. I love that they're doing it because you're not winning friends and influencing people in the way you want to. I wouldn't think, anyway, unless the world is so upside down now that waking people up in the middle of the night actually endears them to your cause. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
Jeez.
Who knows what works?
Really true. Now, I mean, I don't know. All the rules have changed in our society. We're completely upside down. So maybe this is exactly the right the right tactic for them. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Meanwhile, Dr. Fauci had some more interesting things to say. He said on Friday that the chances of scientists creating a highly effective vaccine, one that provides 98% or more guaranteed protection, are slim.
Okay.
Yeah. Chances are not great. They're not great. You've got to think of the vaccine as a tool to be able to get the pandemic to no longer be a pandemic, but to be something that's well controlled. And he said the chances of that are not great.
All right. Well, then I guess we can get back to business as usual, huh?
At some point, that's exactly what we have to do, I think.
No vaccines coming, y'all. Back to work, back to school, back to life the way we knew it.
You know, and the interesting thing about this level of control that they have going right now on the American people, it's working so well that they've got American citizens helping them enforce the encroachment of our rights to the point where they're so vehement about it that they will pepper spray people in the face who are not wearing masks, that they will threaten them, that people have been shot. Now, on both sides, people are pretty excitable on both sides of the mask debate, but they've got people that they've enlisted without even asking them. They've enlisted the American people's help in shaming others into being compliant. It's really amazing. Really pretty amazing. Now we hear from our number one medical expert, the guy who everybody turns to. We're not even going to have a really effective, highly effective vaccine. So we can always, I guess, continue down this path of masks and social distancing. This is just our new reality.
Well, I mean, but it's Fauci, so he's probably wrong. Probably means like the greatest vaccine ever created with no side effects.
You gotta hope.
Peace and harmony. It's just a couple weeks away if Fauci says one's not coming. But look, why not just make it optional, just like the seasonal flu vaccine? Mm-hmm. Everybody that wants to take it,
go ahead.
Take it, and the rest of us can live our lives. All right, we good? No, we're not. Of course not. Because there's no level of control in that scenario.
Yeah, right. And they're enjoying this level of control, and they don't ever want to let it go. And so we just keep getting further and further down that path. There's a Nashville councilwoman who wants attempted murder charges for people who pass on the virus and they're not wearing a mask. So if somebody gets the virus from you, and I don't know how you prove this, and you're not wearing a mask, she wants you charged with attempted murder.
I don't.
Attempted murder.
Yeah, I don't know that you have to have the actual virus involved in the scenario. It's just the fact that you're not wearing the mask, and therefore you could be spreading it, and you could be getting someone else sick, and they could then die from it. So you could then, in her perfect scenario, be charged with attempted murder.
Yeah, the way it's put is she suggested this week that people who do not wear a face mask but spread coronavirus.
Oh, you have to spread it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, again,
should be hit with attempted murder or murder charges. Murder charges. So if somebody around you, I guess, and you're not wearing a mask, gets coronavirus, we just assume it came from you because you didn't have a mask on. And if they die, you're charged with murder.
Well, we're going to contact trace you everywhere you go, everybody you interact with. So we're going to figure out a way to pin this on you.
Yeah, so you might have multiple murder charges. You could get the death penalty.
Oh, my gosh. You could be a
special circumstances.
Serial killer.
Uh-huh.
unmasked serial killer.
Right?
On the loose. Be careful if you're out at the Kroger later today. You might see him.
That is nuts. That's how crazy people are. That's how crazy this whole thing has become.
And these are elected officials.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. City councilwoman in a fairly large city, Nashville.
This is that same city, Nashville. Boy, what has happened there? Whose mayor said, yeah, we should jack the property taxes up to pay for all the cool stuff we want.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We're not paying nearly enough in Texas. I know that. The property tax is atrocious here. It's out of control here.
Sure is.
888-900-3393. 2020 has reminded us about the importance of self-reliance. If it's done anything, it's done that. We've seen COVID, civil unrest, and we've seen how that brings out the worst in people. And the fact is, the police can't be everywhere all at once. That's why it's so important to be properly trained if you're a gun owner. iTarget Pro, one of the best ways to dry fire train with your gun at home using their proprietary app and laser bullet. It's really convenient, it's really safe, and it's going to save you a ton of money on ammunition. Plus, you don't need to wear a mask to use it because you're at home. And so far, in most cities, you don't have to wear a mask while you're in your own home. Keep your fingers crossed that continues. Dry fire training will develop muscle memory. It'll help you with target reaction speed, sight alignment, trigger function, all kinds of things. And it comes in all the major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. And right now, you can save 10% plus free shipping when you use the offer code PAT. Don't let circumstances dictate whether or not you are going to train. Take back control with iTarget Pro. That's the letter I, then targetpro.com. iTargetPro.com, offer code PAT.
Beware, Pat Gray is unleashed.
Yeah. All right. On the other hand, just to add some, some positive news.
Oh, good. I like it.
To this environment.
I need it.
A Democrat New York City Council person.
Bad start.
It is. It seems like it.
It's not promising, Pat.
But this particular council person thanked Donald Trump for making him aware of hydroxychloroquine, which just saved his life, he says.
Oh, well, now I know where the next protest is going to be. Out in front of this city councilman's house.
That's for sure. What? There's no efficacy in therapeutic efficacy in that at all. What are you saying? Yeah, that's my new favorite.
Uh-huh.
There's no therapeutic efficacy.
Yeah, that's close to what I want to say about it.
It was, this drug has been, of course, instantly transformed into a political football. And from the minute Donald Trump said it could be a game changer, and that was back on March 19th. Since being hopeful about the drug, Trump's adversaries have been completely against hydroxychloroquine, while his supporters are optimistic about it. And this Democratic politician has come out to proclaim hydroxychloroquine saved his life after a near-death battle with the disease. Paul Vallone credits it with saving his life as he fought against the respiratory disease. He represents Queens. He said, it basically saved me. He was extremely ill in March. Situation was dire because he already suffers from sarcoidosis, an incurable autoimmune disease that mostly affects lungs and lymph glands. So,
boy, he sounds definitely high risk.
Oof. We were in panic mode when I went down because I didn't have a lot of immune response. I needed something to stay alive. Couldn't breathe, very weak, couldn't get out of bed. My doctor prescribed it. My pharmacy had it. Took it that day, and within 2 to 3 days, I was able to breathe. He took hydroxychloroquine along with the Z-Pack, and within a week, he was back on his feet.
Okay, but again, Trump likes it, so...
Right. So they got to be at his house.
Find another way to survive, man.
Right.
Okay, seriously, that's disqualified. Trump likes it, so we're going to have to... figure out some other form of treatment.
And the guy was aware of it because Trump made such a big deal out of it. I'd like to know how often this has happened. I'd like to know how many lives have been saved in that way.
Yeah, whatever happened to if it just saves one life?
Yes. That's
where did that go?
Completely out the window now.
Yeah, where did that one go?
Right.
If it just saves one life, unless Trump likes it and endorses it,
then it's not worth
then we're
1,000 or 1,000,000 lives.
What a sick world. What a country, man.
I know. It's
we have lost our
world.
minds.
It's quite a world that we've got going here.
It back either.
888-900-3393. Meanwhile, on the college football front,
no, again with the stories.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you go out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Stop!
Mm-hmm.
No, don't do this.
I'm sure everything's fine. It's all going to work out. Everything's awesome when you're part of a team.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are all part of a team.
Yeah. I turned my phone off for like 100 hours.
Did you?
And it's about to go back off after stories like this.
Trevor Lawrence. Did he win? He won the Heisman last year, didn't he? Did he win the Heisman?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
No. That was Burrow. You mean the year before?
Oh, Joe Burrow, yeah. Yeah, did Lawrence win it the year before as
That's
a sophomore?
Great question.
Weird. Yeah, because I think he's won already.
What? How quickly we
Maybe
forget.
Not. Yeah, no kidding. So much has happened, though.
Yeah. We've lived a lot of life as a country in the last couple of months.
Jeez.
We don't have room for frivolous stuff like football, apparently.
So Trevor Lawrence, who's a quarterback at Clemson, Justin Fields, Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
They're calling for a players union in a hashtag We Want to Play message.
Yeah, Lawrence has not won.
He has not yet.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
So basically, if you go back, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield,
oh, that's
Lamar
right.
Jackson,
that's right.
Johnny Manziel. Gosh.
Wow.
Anyway,
completely out of football. He's being boycotted. Why isn't Johnny Manziel in the NFL? How many days is it now? Should we count that up too?
Yeah. And why does this list skip 3 years? 14 and 15, 13. Anyway. So Johnny Manziel. Yeah, I know. We're going to get off on another tangent here, but boy, you talk about a guy who just wasted it all.
Yeah, no kidding.
Anyhow. So, but now.
Two of the biggest names in college football have called for a players' union in the face of the significant uncertainty of whether there will be a season at all this year. They took to Twitter with a list of demands. Oh, good.
Oh, here we go.
They want to play, but they've got this list of demands that can't possibly be met.
Okay.
It can't. I mean, this can't happen. It will ruin college football if you do this. Among those demands was the right to use our voices to establish open communication and trust between players and officials. Okay.
Okay, so
you can do that.
So talk and we'll listen. Got it. All right. Next, what's your next demand there?
Ultimately creating a college football players association.
Nope. Bye.
The list, so they want a union.
Yep.
Asinine.
They're Teamsters.
The list also includes the desire for universal health and safety procedures for all conferences. They've already got that.
Yeah.
You already have that. Guaranteed eligibility for players, and I think the NCAA is working on that too. I think they're going to
whether they
want
to play this year or not. Okay,
yeah.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, you can opt out of the season. Nobody's going to say no, but will your and then it runs into some complications because can you keep your scholarship next year when there's a slew of other guys, new guys coming in, and they need scholarships too? You can only have 85 unless the NCAA just wipes out the limit and just says, okay, for 5 years, you can have as many scholarships as you need because of, or they boost it to 100 or whatever. That'd be the only way.
And let's go back. Maybe we give them a union and they have a seat at the table.
Mm-hmm.
But that just means so we can hear your voice. Doesn't mean you get like a veto-proof power or something like that. But sure, you have a union.
Yeah. I mean, would that be a big deal?
Yeah. I just don't want them to be able to, vote the way players' unions do. No, we're not playing.
Clemson running back Darian Rencher explained he and Lawrence met with representatives of every Power 5 conference via Zoom to take a step toward one collective voice.
And wonderful. See, now Lawrence he's been saying, let's play, let's go, guys, come on, let's play. They got a hold of him, and now he's part of the union, the pro-union movement.
Yep.
Neat.
Now, this comes after the Pac-12 athletes came together with a We Are United message that was posted on the Players Tribune.
That's what did it.
The players threatened to sit out if officials did not meet their demands, including addressing systemic racism in collegiate sports and society, and providing clear COVID-19 safety measures. Obviously, the safety measures, completely fine, completely reasonable. But the Pac-12 and football in general, the NCAA, cannot end racism in society.
Well, then they're not trying hard enough. I love this. End racism in society. Well, I don't know. Let's start with the Democratic nominee.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that momentarily. The message also called for the ability for athletes to make money through name, image, and likeness rights. I don't have a problem with that, actually.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sure.
If you can make money by selling your jersey, and you get a portion of the proceeds, I think that's great. As far as taking half the proceeds that come into football, I think you've completely changed the nature of the college game at that point. Elsewhere, Big Ten football players released a Big Ten unity proposal through the Players Tribune, asking for more oversight and transparency about the handling of COVID-19. That's reasonable. The protocols are fine. Lawrence's latest tweet comes after he pleaded for there to be a college football season. And he was saying, actually, look, you're just as likely to get it if we don't play than if we do.
Right.
So let's play. And like Keith said, then they got a hold of him, and now he's Mr. Unionized.
They want health insurance and all this fun stuff. I mean, these athletic facilities on campuses, campi, they have it better than the student body does.
Uh-huh.
Their health services and their access to trainers and medical facilities are light years better than what the students have access to. So I don't know what they help us. It's Marxism gets its claws into every aspect of society. If not to overtake, then just to disrupt and just ruin the quality of life. And that's where we're at. So, yay.
The MAC conference canceled their whole season.
Yep.
They're going to play in the spring. Against who?
Okay, first of all, that's a conference that no one's watching regardless
cares.
of what time of year you're playing. I'm sorry.
Except for the fact that we had a game scheduled with Northern Illinois, so that's game number 7
Generally
canceled.
Speaking, that's that Wednesday night game or Friday night game. Or
yeah, it is.
Who knows what?
That's
it's the background game that you have on in the room, but nobody's eyes are on it for more than 3 seconds at a time.
Yes.
Okay, so they've canceled, and we're going to learn this week because all the Power 5 conferences are getting together. Thank you, Big Ten, for starting this momentum, getting together to probably cancel the season outright for all of the major
they're going
to
talk about it, yeah.
I mean, they've got these meetings scheduled. We have Pac-12 and somebody meeting to Tuesday. Thursday is the SEC. They might move up these meetings and just pull the plug before then. It's devastatingly bad how bad the outlook is right now. And I was surprised you hadn't heard the doomsday prophecies that have been floated out there this weekend. There have been doomsday prophecies for a while. This one sounds like it's all but a given at this point. Okay, if I wear a mask everywhere, can we have college football? Please, what do you want me to do? Please, Overton window me on this. I just... I wish that's what they were doing, but I think, it might be inevitable that they just stop it, which would really be sad, tragic, devastating. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word we're looking for.
Devastating.
Yeah, I mean, next thing you know, there's going to be like 5.1 Richter scale earthquakes in North Carolina somewhere, or whatever. I mean, what a crazy year this 2020 is.
Yep. Yeah.
Seriously.
What's next? Well, we'll tell you in a second here.
Yeah, we're afraid to ask. That's a loaded question this year, man.
We got plenty that's coming your way. All right. 888-900-3393.
Happy Monday, huh?
More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Lone Peak Patron tweets, BLM doesn't care if people agree with them. They're just there to cause chaos.
Yep.
Protesters themselves have no agenda, just useful idiots. Keystone Pig, BLM tactics will one day be remembered as what not to do to win people to your cause. Comrade Snoobage, I doubt Pat has to worry about rioters coming to his local area since there are no roads to his house.
No. That's if I'm a rioter.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, there are other people that do have, a path to my house. But for some reason, everything's torn up between my house and Keith's. Yeah, it's weird. Really weird. Paul Tertelis, start following Antifa members home to mom and dad's house and waking them up during the day. You know what? That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, but see, they live in the basement. I'd love to see the turnabout.
I know.
And so it's kind of soundproof, unfortunately.
I may be nuts, but maybe not. Tweets regarding Fauci's comments. By the time we have an effective vaccine, the virus will have burned out already.
Yeah, I saw something like the peak was July 18th somewhere. Where did I see
really?
that? Yeah. Oh, boy. Where did I read that? I don't know. Let's see. Anyway.
So you find it. We'll read B to Bodines. Keith. You can't worry about saving even one life when you're trying to destroy a country. Come on, man.
Yeah, sorry.
In the words of Joe Biden, come on, man.
Yeah, let's see. So the number of new cases per week has steadily decreased since the week of July 12th.
Oh, okay.
So for basically a month now, the trajectory's been going down in the United States. So I think that was the United States. Anyhow, whatever. Just, I don't care anymore. I
don't even check the numbers anymore.
Yeah, they're pointless numbers to begin with.
Pointless. They are.
I mean, when you're shoving old people when you're shoving COVID patients into old folks' homes,
what's going to happen?
I mean, these numbers have been fake
nobody could have foreseen that, except everyone. Other than everyone, nobody foresaw that. And at the time, everybody knew old people were at much greater risk than anybody else. And he did it anyway.
Right. Here's where I'm at. Not that it really matters, but here's where I'm at on the virus. The virus can affect some people more severely than others. Mm-hmm. Okay? We agree on that. Okay? But it's very rare that it's going to be this catastrophic thing. It doesn't rise.
It is very rare.
Right. It doesn't rise to the level of global pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But these numbers are a separate issue. You can't trust those because of how they're manufactured on the death certificates, and you see where the funding goes to the places that need it. And
there's money involved.
There's money involved.
That skews everything.
So I'm completely ignoring the numbers. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, those in leadership and positions of power,
they're not.
They're not. Is it a real thing? Yes. Is it to the point where we need to dictate changing society? And oh my gosh, you see little kids. This is their memory right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they are living this nightmare, having their childhoods and, quite frankly, their futures just robbed before our eyes. And for what, man? These numbers are manufactured. What a nightmare we have set up.
I believe this thing is real.
Right.
It's certainly not a hoax. I just think it's overhyped.
Yes.
So I'm kind of in the middle. I don't want to do stupid things like go to a place where there's hundreds of people and nobody's wearing a mask and mingling all together like we used to. I think right now that's probably a really bad idea. On the other hand, I don't want to wear a mask in my house.
I mean, during flu season, you practice common sense. Yeah, I mean, you don't get in people's faces. You when it peaks in certain areas, you stop shaking hands at church, and you're like, you know what, man, maybe it's time for the old hand sanitizer during this flu season. Just common sense.
Yeah.
If we could just apply that. But I'm telling you, you travel the country, and every town, every county, every municipality is treating this thing completely different. And you can apply, it's COVID today, and it's going to be the vaccine tomorrow, and God knows what else beyond that. That's how it's localism, man. And it's so radically different from place to place. There's no uniformity.
It's like Fauci explained last week why the numbers are so big here in the United States.
Oh, did he?
And he was like, well, we only got down to a baseline of about 20,000, and then local municipalities started doing their own thing. Well, yeah, it's called the Constitution. The things that aren't mandated by the federal government are the responsibility of the states. So the states were in charge at that point, and if you want to circumvent the Constitution and throw it completely out the window, I guess we could do that. I don't want to. I don't know. Anybody who respects and loves the Constitution, and it's gotten us this far, knows that we can't just disregard the U.S. Constitution and have centralized government tell everybody what to do in every single case. You know, it would have been foolhardy for South Dakota to treat the virus like New York City did. It's asinine.
And who did better in the long run?
Obviously, South Dakota. By far.
I mean, we are completely changing 180 degrees the definition of freedom. Because if you really liberalize and stretch the numbers, 2% of the country has been infected, and 3% of that 2% has died from it. And that's if you completely stretch the definition of what COVID is. Madness.
Yeah, and they have stretched the definition. And I just saw that over the weekend we hit the 5 million point. You know how many people it was with the last big pandemic, the pig flu?
Tell me.
It was 60 million people got it. 60 million. And we didn't even talk about it in 2009 and 10. It wasn't, I mean, it was brought up once or twice, but nobody did anything extraordinary with it.
Okay, but was Donald Trump up for re-election in 2009?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
That was a little bit different. So
maybe that has a
little something to do with it.
Little something to do with that.
Perhaps.
Election year flu.
Now, not as many people died, and so the death rate was quite a bit smaller with that. But even so, I mean, you're still at 12 times the number of people infected.
Well,
so
that's the big number now, right? That's what they're all touting is the cases. The cases. As soon as they got to their death number that they wanted, this magic number, then they were like, okay, well now people aren't taking it seriously because it's starting to go down a little bit. Now we got to emphasize cases on CNN,
not deaths.
Where it used to be the death tally, it's now cases.
All right, 888-900-3393. Yeah, it's just fun to see how the other media treats this because it's so different on CNN than it is on Fox News.
Night and day.
Brian Stelter, he's a douchebag. I think we've established that in the past.
Accurate.
And I think he shows that again here. Is this from Friday?
Yeah, I think.
Here's Brian on CNN.
Sort of sharpened their teeth on Bill Clinton. This has been the way they've built audiences for 3 decades now.
Awful power of negative
I don't want to claim
partisanship.
It's new. I just am arguing that it's getting worse. It's getting more severe. Aaron, your view of this, you know, when you see entire media companies essentially exist to tear down Joe Biden, is there an equivalent to that on the left tearing down Trump?
What?
There really isn't.
There really isn't. That is astounding. The lack of self-awareness. Are you kidding me? Thank you. Let's see that one more time because that's worth really letting that marinate a little bit.
Sort of sharpened their teeth on Bill Clinton. This has been the way they've built audiences for 3 decades now.
Yeah, I don't want to claim it's new. I just am arguing that it's getting worse. It's getting more severe. Aaron, your view of this, you know, when you see entire media companies essentially exist to tear down Joe Biden, is there an equivalent to that on the left tearing down Trump?
There really isn't.
They're sitting there on CNN.
It's
a network that is devoted 24/7 to tearing down Donald Trump.
The lady should have just pointed to the little CNN bug in the lower left-hand corner.
Let me see if I can think of something.
We're on it right here.
CNN.
That is Who wrote that question? Did he write that question? Did a producer write that question?
It might have come off the top of his head because he's just responding to, oh, yeah, I know Fox has been doing this for 3 decades, but can you think, I mean, it's worse. Can you think of anybody doing that on the left?
No self-awareness.
That is hard to believe.
I know.
That's impossible to believe.
Remember, I mean, this is the same network that was like,
wow.
The president gets 2 scoops of ice cream. His guests get 1. I mean, you're that network that you just described. Help us.
To about the 10th power. They are so much more anti-Trump than Fox is anti-Biden. Oh, come on now. Yeah. They and MSNBC, but CNN has just gone even further than MSNBC ever went. That is just amazing. Jeez. What a doofus.
Yeah.
Can you think of anybody on the left who's saying anything bad about Donald Trump? I can't think of anybody.
Is there a network that's equivalent?
That Fox News evil? Is there anything that's even approaching that?
We gotta get over this partisanship stuff.
You have got to be kidding me.
That's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time.
I mean, wow, the lack of self-awareness.
And nobody on his little panel was like, yeah, there is.
It's like, no, I don't think so. I can't think of anybody. It's great.
It is madness.
That is really something else. I wouldn't have believed that unless I saw it. Like if somebody had described that, you wouldn't believe what Brian Stelter said. He said there's no equivalent on the left for people tearing down Trump the way Fox tears down. No, they didn't. They did not say that.
Roll the tape. Nightmare.
Roll that delicious bean footage.
Oh, but not Goya beans, because that'll get you in trouble.
Yeah. Or peas. Goya peas, right?
Well, you know, Chrissy Teigen, right? Is that her name?
Yeah.
The crazy lady?
Yep.
Yeah. So,
John Legend's wife.
Yeah. So
she's been very adamant about her Goya boycott.
Yeah. She didn't like the fact that the head of the company praised
said nice
Trump.
things about Trump.
Right. And of course, once you do that,
said nice things about Obama too during the Obama administration, but that wasn't a problem. But of course, this is.
Yeah.
This is a big problem to the point where we must boycott Goya products. Well,
because she did, you know, when
she did.
As soon as that the head of the company praised Trump there in the Rose Garden, she took to Instagram or Twitter or where the heck she hangs out in social media world. What'd she say? It was a shame. Don't care.
Uses the F word.
Yeah.
Don't care how good the beans taste, though. Bye-bye.
Okay. Because the head of Goya praised Trump. No more Goya beans and products.
Right. Except she was using the product over the weekend.
Yeah, over the weekend she was laying out the ingredients for something she was cooking. And there on the counter were the Goya beans, or peas in this case.
Goya, right there, front and center.
So, because she just said bye to the beans, right? She didn't say bye to the peas, so she can still use the peas.
The hypocrisy and the do as I say, not as I do nonsense of the left. It just never stops.
So now we got to boycott her, right? Is that where we're at now? I can't keep up with it.
So she's a cookbook author? I didn't know that. I thought she was a model. Wasn't she a big-time model?
I think
at one point
that's where she got her fame.
And now the popular cookbook author also wrote on Instagram, there are other beans. Shop responsibly.
Okay. Well, someone didn't. Oh, sorry. The hired help came back with the wrong. I specifically said no Goya products, but I can't help it that the hired help came back with that. I
think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
She got caught in her own little stupidity there, her own little hypocrisy. And there's the evidence. Of course, the can wasn't opened, so I guess it is possible that she's just displaying it for them.
Oh.
Doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense either, but okay.
All right. Okay, Mr.
Didn't she say she was throwing them away? She was throwing out her Goya products, I
thought.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. You're the one that runs PR for her. What did she say there? I don't know. They were just on display. They've been in the house for 3 months. And so, sorry that she didn't want to waste the product.
Yeah.
So anyway, see, what was her suggestion? Shop responsibly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
shop responsibly.
Shop responsibly. Like this family here, they went to Kroger.
And did they shop responsibly?
Yes, they did. They don't want to. They want to social distance properly. They want to make sure that they're, insulated from all the bad stuff going on.
Good. Maybe we can learn.
Yeah. There they are. And you see the family shows up at the Kroger wearing their biosuits. No. So there they are. They were at the meet, of course. The family of dinosaurs. They got a family of 3 inflatable dinosaur costumes picking out ground beef at Kroger, and no one's going to be infected as they go along their carnivorous path. Look at that.
That's really pretty funny.
Yeah,
that's adorable.
That is something.
It is actually kind of funny.
It is funny. It is very funny.
It had to be uncomfortable, and they went a long way for that bit.
Yeah, but you know what? They're not wearing a mask under there, I guarantee you that.
Right?
I mean, that might be the way to do it. We all dress up like inflatable characters.
The inflatable dinosaur enough to keep the virus away from everybody? I don't know.
I don't know.
The mask isn't, so I don't... probably just as effective as the mask is. Ah, man. 888-900-3393. Also, we got to share with you the wokeness of NASA, which they're now completely woke as an organization. And you want that in your space program. I think you really want that, don't you? We'll get into that.
Yeah.
The Georgia high school with the crowded halls. Everybody's seen the photo by now, probably. Look how crowded these halls are. We'll share the update on what's going on there with the 9 have tested positive there. Not 90 or 900, but 9.
I haven't heard of this.
Yeah. And so we'll get into that. And did Donald Trump ask to be on Mount Rushmore? Coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze Radio Network.
888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Peak Patron tweets. They can use the Google geocache warrants to get the COVID murder charges. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll be great. The geo warrants will be great. Eric's rant. So we need to empty the jails because of the China virus spreading amongst the mostly peaceful felons. But need to charge law-abiding, non-mask wearing citizens with attempted murder.
Correct.
And put them in jail? Weird. Preston unmasked. On the bright side, the Michigan state rep, who was mercifully savaged by the Dems for crediting the president after getting hydrochloroquine, saved her life, did win re-election easily last week.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
Oh, wait. So Michigan, does that mean that Tlaib, did she win?
Oh.
Surely she did, or we were.
I'm sure, yeah. It'd be big news if she... Ilhan Omar it was, wasn't it?
Oh,
was it Omar?
No, she's in Minnesota.
She's in Minnesota. Yeah.
She won. Tlaib won.
Tlaib won?
5 days ago. Yeah. I don't know how close it was, but close enough that... let's see. Well, thank you, Detroit News, for the pop-up ad. That's
helpful.
Helpful there.
Anglo-Indigenous non-ternary trained capitalist tweets, Bidenian slip, new word for Merriam-Webster.
Bidenian slip. It's when you're a racist and it comes out without you wanting it to.
John Weathergeek, common sense is a superpower. Yeah, it kind of is now because so few people have it.
Tlaib won her primary 66-33.
That's pretty comfortably, actually.
So she's going to stick around.
So President Trump directed the federal government on Saturday to provide $300 a week in additional payments to the unemployed and called on states to fund an extra $100 in weekly benefits. So it's $400 extra per week in unemployment from this executive order instead of $600 a week. The reason they didn't go 600 was because that was thought to be a disincentive for going back to work. Now, the Democrats were holding out and holding up the bill because they wouldn't go to 600.
Yeah.
They still want the 600. And instead, the president couldn't get it done, so he just did it.
Yeah, Congress
just did it himself.
Congress couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
And so he had a phone and a pen. And so the Democrats are upset because they don't get credit for funding unemployment checks.
And some Republicans, I don't know, like me, except I'm not a Republican, but some conservatives are upset because you can't keep doing this on executive order.
Yeah, that's not how we spend money in this country. It's Congress's authority. So it's absolutely...
They appropriate the money.
Yes. Just dangerous.
I don't know how you can even do it.
What was this?
Really,
yeah. Oh, well, because it's America in 2020.
That's right.
It's how do you teach your kids the Constitution these days? Yeah, in theory, it's a pretty good thing there, and we don't really use it much anymore. Ben Sass, quote, "The pen and phone theory of executive lawmaking is unconstitutional slop." There it is. Right. I mean, that is it, period.
He's right. Has Ben Sass said too many anti-Trump things to ever run for office, the office of the presidency? I mean, I wonder if he's pissed people off to the point where he's just unelectable now.
Well, he can't run as a Republican. That's for sure.
Probably not, yeah.
What is this?
Probably
he said
not.
President Obama did not have the power to unilaterally rewrite immigration law with DACA, and President Trump does not have the power to unilaterally rewrite the payroll tax law. Under the Constitution, that power belongs to the American people acting through their members of Congress, end quote.
That's so old-fashioned.
Man, that guy is crazy.
Remember when that was the case, Ben?
What is this guy thinking? I mean...
that was clear back in like 2019 when that held true. How old were you? It really didn't.
No, I was going to say...
We've had this executive order thing going on for a long time, but it's been used a lot more with Obama and President Trump. President Trump has probably done more executive orders than signed legislation into law. I'll bet he has. I'll bet he signed more executive orders than legislation. Should look into that.
How many laws has he signed compared to
not
how
very
many executive orders?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I want to.
I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, let's see. How many? But what do you mean, though? Because executive orders could be something like, we put the flag at half-staff.
Yeah, but major things like this. Things like this. Things that should have been done through legislation that have just been done by executive order.
Here's the full list.
Of executive orders?
Yeah. Of course, the article is... And another pop-up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a great day over here with the pop-ups.
It's as usual. Meanwhile, President Trump tweeted that it sounds like a good idea to be put on Mount Rushmore after the New York Times claimed that a White House aide reached out to the governor of South Dakota to discuss the plan. The president, who has long floated the idea, denied on Sunday that he had ever requested having himself added to the monument, but he said it was a fine idea given his accomplishments.
Look what Rob made up there on the screen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice job.
I mean, the rock needs some blending, but...
Still, that's pretty good. That's not bad.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if it belongs, but okay.
Oh, I know. It does not.
This is fake news by the failing New York Times and bad ratings CNN, he tweeted. Never suggested it. Although
what?
Based on all of the many accomplished things, the things accomplished during the first 3.5 years, perhaps more than any other presidency. Sounds like a good idea to me. Do you have any doubt in your mind that he asked? I bet he did ask Governor Noem. I bet he asked Kristi Noem.
And said what?
To put him on the... what would it take to get me up on the...
Oh, come on. Okay, probably.
No, she says he did kind of ask her.
Oh, no.
She said, I shook his hand, and I said, Mr. President, you should come to South Dakota sometime. We have Mount Rushmore. And he goes, do you know it's my dream to have my face on Mount Rushmore?
I bet.
Noem said she thought he was joking. I started laughing. He wasn't laughing, so He was totally serious. Later that year, Trump raised it again, this time in public at a rally in Youngstown, Ohio.
No, man.
I'd ask you whether or not you think I will someday be on Mount Rushmore, but here's the problem. If I did it joking, totally joking, having fun, the fake news media will say he believes he should be on Mount Rushmore. So I won't say it, okay? I won't say it.
What? Come on.
He's kind of saying it by saying he's not going to. The problem is, it's just not cool to even bring it up in a joking way because, yes, people are going to think you're a little bit of a narcissist or egomaniac.
No, this guy? No, I don't see it on this guy.
I know.
No.
For years, people have suggested Franklin Roosevelt. Oh, my gosh, what a nightmare that would be. John F. Kennedy, who was president for about a day and a half. Come on. Can we get over the John F. Kennedy thing? And Ronald Reagan, among others. Now, among those,
okay, now I'm listening.
Reagan, yeah, maybe.
Where's the Coolidge?
Maybe. Calvin Coolidge is another one who could belong.
Grover Cleveland, of course, which I know you are a huge fan of.
Huge fan. But nobody would ever say Calvin Coolidge or Grover Cleveland belong on Mount Rushmore. They don't know anything about him. And even if they found out, they still wouldn't like him.
See, I've always had a tough time coming up with the fourth. See, I would do Cleveland, Coolidge, Reagan. I don't know. Who's the fourth? President. Are we judging them as people or presidents?
Presidents. I think presidents.
See, this is tough then. You know?
Maybe Reagan. Reagan's a possibility. Does he deserve to be in Mount Rushmore? Do you think Donald Trump deserves to be on Mount Rushmore?
I think he's done some great things.
I'm going to say no, but maybe that's just
James
me.
Garfield. Boy, he was on a path to be in the
James K. Polk.
Yeah. But see, they cut down Garfield after 6 months, so we'll never know what could.
We'll never know. He could have been
James
a good
K.
one.
Polk. I heard you guys were talking about him last week, right?
Yeah.
And he idolized Andrew Jackson.
That's right. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. James K. Polk. He was a big.
No, I would not put him on Mount Rushmore.
I mean, he was good on Tuesdays.
But it was Millard Fillmore that we were brought up the James K. Polk thing because these are lesser known presidents, I guess.
Who would be on the Mount Rushmore of the 4 worst presidents ever?
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, right out of the gate.
Woodrow Wilson. He's the centerpiece. Franklin Roosevelt.
Yep. Okay, and I've got
Lyndon Johnson.
Oh yeah, that's better than I was going to say.
Those are my 4.
Because Jimmy Carter gets honorable mention, right?
Yeah, Carter. If you're going to do 5, you might put Carter on there.
Okay, but you can only do the 4.
But you're only doing 4, so those are the 4 I'd use.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's LBJ, FDR, Woodrow Wilson, and Barack Obama.
Yep.
And Jimmy Carter has got like a museum off to the side that keep the thermostat really low.
888-900-3393. Sam in Utah. You're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
You really concerned, or are you just making small talk?
I'm in a bad mood.
You know what? I decided that in these difficult times, I can't afford not to care.
Okay, well, wow.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. That's nicely put.
And I want to say, too, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I mean, I was laughing there a lot the last hour. I mean, you guys are the only way I can listen to the news and keep my sanity, really.
Good.
So,
could you tell that I'm hangry right now? I'm very hangry.
Oh, I thought that was just a given. Just a concept. So, no, a couple things. Actually, one I thought of while you guys were going over the numbers. I don't know if you realize this or not, but if you remove New York and New Jersey from the death count from COVID-19, the U.S. is actually 13th worldwide for severity.
Wow.
And what are we with them? 6th?
Pardon?
We're I think we're in 6th place.
With them, we're 6th or 7th, right?
It's up there. Depending on who you ask, but by themselves, well, that's the thing too. I've heard that by themselves, just New York and New Jersey, if they were their own country, deaths per 1,000, they would be number 1.
Jeez.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And then 2, you guys were talking about Fauci and the vaccine. St. Fauci of DCC. One thing that I hadn't thought of until I was listening to Steve Bass's show last week. Those guys brought up because I always think of like a binary choice, right? Either we stay locked down for the rest of eternity, or they come up with a vaccine, right?
Yeah.
But even just what you were saying that he was saying kind of backs this up. They brought out, well, what if they come out with a vaccine? It's like, well, it's not as effective as we need it to be. So you're still going to have to social distance and wear the mask and only be open as much as we say you can. Why wouldn't they do both?
Right. Well, yeah, he's already said that. Last week he made that statement too. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate the call. He made the statement last week that even after a vaccine, we're still going to need to do the mask and social distancing.
Get out my face.
This is permanent.
No.
In the minds of these experts.
No.
In the mind of Fauci, it's permanent, I think.
No, they're setting us up for a war over masks and vaccines, man.
And by the way, Dace has done a great job on these numbers and talking about the hype surrounding this thing. And I don't want to minimize it because 160,000 some people have died, apparently. I don't know if they've manipulated those numbers a little bit. Surely they're somewhat manipulated. But it might cancel out, too, in that, there might be some that they've missed. I don't know. So it is a serious problem, but is it a problem that that has brought us to the precipice of complete control by the government? Is it that necessary? Should we be compromising our freedom for our safety? And the answer is no, we should not be.
Think of anything besides this virus. Is it possible? Is it possible for us to care about whatever issue it is and to take common sense approaches to it without completely erasing our liberties? Is that possible? Is there anything? Can you think of it? Because if you can, we could also apply that same logic to the mask situation. What have we said since we said this in January? We said, wash your hands, China. Come on, China, wash your hands. I mean, if we would just exercise common sense, then you don't give an opening to the tyrannical overlords that are making these dictates.
By the way, President Trump was talking about not wearing a mask as a protest.
I love this.
Over the weekend.
This might get him on Mount Rushmore.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said that the pandemic is disappearing, but we lost 6,000 Americans this week. And just in this room, you have dozens of people who are not following the guidelines in New Jersey, which say you should not have more.
No, they don't have. It's a political activity. You're wrong on that because it's a political activity. They have exceptions, political activity, and it's also a peaceful protest. Yes. So when you have, and as you know, they asked if they could be, a number of, and to me they look like they pretty much all have masks on, but you have an exclusion in the law. It says peaceful protest or political activity, right? In fact, specifically, it says exactly.
I love
peaceful protest.
That's a great, yes, I like that.
And the only peaceful protest they want to be an exclusion is BLM. You know that. And he just opened it up.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. 888-933-93. Welcome. 888-933-93 at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Have we gotten an update? Because we asked about this last week, getting an update on Jules. What is the story there?
Yeah, so the latest...
Because she got another
bone
marrow transplant.
Yeah, from her sister. And she had this nasty infection that I guess covered her body and her eyes. So you could see a rash in her eyes apparently. But both Jules and her mom have tweeted recently that she is improving. The infection is still going on in the eyes, but they have a biopsy coming up on Wednesday, and then that will determine. Okay. We'll know if the transplant is viable as of Wednesday. She has been in the hospital effectively, I don't know, what are we, year and a half now?
Yeah, it's got to be.
With a small gap in between.
Close to that.
Oh, my goodness. I mean,
so she could definitely use continued prayers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's for sure.
Pray for Jules. Total isolation from the world.
Man, she's gone through it. 888-933-93 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So our thoughts and prayers definitely with her. Just Too Muck and Futch tweets. Brian Stelter asking if there's any network devoted to tearing down Trump is proof that even he doesn't watch his pathetic network. Or his own stinking show, for that matter.
Yeah.
Caffeinated Texan tweets, I never bought Goya until recently. Thanks for convincing me to buy their food, AOC. Good stuff, too. Dirty Mule 1, pro tip of the day. If you have Goya in your house, you already paid for it. You're not hurting Goya by throwing it out. Very true.
Good point.
That's true.
Oh, no, don't buy our products and then throw them in the
away.
trash.
That would be terrible. People are so stupid.
So stupid. Man.
All right. Media continues to cover for Joe Biden with his latest racial comment about blacks and their non-diversity. I mean, he said it twice in the same day. Said it twice in one day. If you're not sure what it was, this is what Biden said last week.
And by the way, what you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
But not blacks.
No.
They all think the same exact way about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an incredible comment. Incredible. And yeah, people are saying he made an apology. No, he never apologized. He did not apologize for that. I'm looking for his pathetic statement. It was really, really lame. Let's see. He said, earlier today, I made some comments about diversity in the African American and Latino communities that I want to clarify.
Okay.
In no way did I mean to suggest the African American community is a monolith, not by identity, not on issues, not at all. I'm sorry, that's not clarification. You didn't clarify anything. You just made an opposite statement. That's what you did. Why did you say the opposite of that earlier today twice? Why? No explanation on that. But according to Fox, this was almost completely unmentioned on the other news outlets like CNN and MSNBC. MSNBC apparently did cover his mea culpa addressing it, but their biggest stars didn't mention it. Rachel Maddow, Chris Hayes, Ali Velshi, who was filling in for Lawrence O'Donnell. None of them mentioned it. CNN's first primetime mention of the gaffe came on Cuomo Primetime. However, he strangely didn't play the actual clip. Jeez. But he did play the apology, so that's great. And that follows on the heels of, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black comment. Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
In this one, too.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Right.
Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how
he really means it. He really means it.
Yeah, we know, Joe.
Yeah, he really means it.
We know.
I don't have any doubt that you really mean it. God, I really don't.
They must be taken off the street.
Who? Black kids?
That's number one.
Yeah.
There's a consensus on that.
Oh.
Unless we do something
right
about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes.
Okay, go ahead.
Because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity.
He's not joking here. He's saying literally.
We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now.
Now, I just got the message in my ear that we got 2 minutes. I'm going to yield myself 2 more minutes.
Oh, wow.
Martin,
look at that.
Yield myself 2 more minutes.
Okay.
I'm not done here. Okay. We got more to say about Biden and his racism.
Okay. All righty. What else you got there from Joe being Joe?
It's amazing how that is the excuse, too, by the way.
Nightmare, this guy.
They don't have any problem with him because it's just, that's just Joe.
I mean, you got the first
sort of
mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and
nice looking guy.
I mean, that's a storybook, man.
I mean, there's nothing more storybook than a clean African American. This guy, this is the Democrat torchbearer.
Yeah.
This is your guy. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear for 5 seconds that Trump is a racist.
Right.
You can spend all day playing Joe Biden clips and not repeat his racist stuff.
Right. I can't tell you a single thing that Trump has said that's racist. I mean, they always point to the Mexican thing, that Mexicans are racist or rapists. Well, that's not what he was saying. Nope. He was saying that some who come across the border are, in fact, rapists, and that's a fact.
Oh.
So...
Just Joe being Joe, man. Just Joe being Joe.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Kathy Shandling tweets, I think Millard Fillmore should be put on Mount Rushmore. We learned so much about him from Jeffy last week. The Steve 42, it's time for James K. Polk Tuesday.
James K. Polk Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. I think that kind of ran its course.
What do you mean? Okay, fine. Then can we replace it with a Calvin Coolidge Wednesday?
No, I don't think so.
Whoa.
Joe McKinley tweets, little known fact, Mount Rushmore itself is modeled after Taft.
That's a thinking man's tweet.
That's cute.
That's good.
Up your game. We've upped our game. Now, up yours. Ronald Reagan should be on Mount Rushmore. And Anglo-Indigenous, just spitballing here, but how many people would consider acquiescing to mandatory vaccinations and masks if the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade? Oh, I'd make that trade.
Oh, no.
I think I'd make that trade.
Oh.
For the life of children?
No.
No?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not going to Overton window myself into...
Yeah, I'll do it.
Do I want Roe v. Wade overturned? Absolutely, I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to just say... Like, I have to get a...
Oh, they're not going to actually make the trade anyway, Keith. I don't know if you're aware
but
of
I'm
that,
saying...
But...
This guy's saying he'll take the vaccine.
Yeah.
If we overturn Roe v. Wade. I mean, that is the ultimate Overton window. 6 months ago, we wouldn't even... What are you talking about? Vaccine. I don't know. You're right. It's kind of a hypothetical that I'm kind of spinning out of control here because I'm so adamant about not getting the vaccine.
All right. We got a new commercial for Democrats. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Okay.
As Democrats, what are we fighting for? For the workers.
Black trans lives matter.
For the dreamers and asylum seekers. For those with disabilities, for seniors, for safer schools, neighborhoods, and communities, for a secure retirement, for opportunity, for our country.
Stuff, China.
We are the party of the people. We are Democrats.
It's just rioting. So I think they took the voiceover from a legitimate ad.
I think that's true, yeah. I think that's exactly what they did.
And just put in different scenes, which are more accurate than whatever they probably had originally.
Yep.
So basically just death and destruction happening at the hands of, well, Democrats, quite frankly.
Quite frankly, that's where we are. That's where we are. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I don't think we explained the NASA thing yet, did we? NASA is going woke, apparently, now. They announced this week they're going to engage in political correctness when referring to planets, stars, galaxies, and other cosmic bodies. So they've only done, because they're worried that they might have actively harmful names to certain, bodies in the sky.
I thought we had already overturned everything. Like, we've already canceled everything that can be canceled.
No, not quite yet.
No.
Now we've got to, let's spin the wheel.
Oh, wheel.
Up. Cancel.
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure it's going to land on the NASA story, though.
Yeah.
It did. It landed on the NASA story.
What did Jeffy do to my wheel of cancel?
Oh, there it goes.
Story number 2, Pat.
Yes, it's the NASA. Amazing. Hey. We're canceling offensive names in outer space now.
Okay.
These are actively harmful names as the scientific community works to identify and address systemic discrimination and inequality in all aspects of the field.
Shut up.
It's become clear certain cosmic names are not only insensitive, but can be actively harmful. NASA is examining its use of unofficial terminology for cosmic objects as part of its commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So far, they've only changed the name of 2 things, but this is just the beginning.
Oh, boy.
Planetary Nebula, NGC 2392, will no longer be called by its official name, the Eskimo Nebula, while NGC 4567 and 4568, a pair of spiral galaxies, will no longer be called the Siamese Twin Galaxies.
Wait, what in the world?
According to NASA, the word Eskimo is offensive because it's widely viewed as a colonial term with a racist history imposed on the indigenous people of Arctic regions. And they don't explain the Siamese Twin Galaxy
what
at
is
all.
That one?
There is something wrong with Siamese twins. They don't call them that anymore. Even Siamese twins, that's been changed to conjoined.
Whatever.
So why? Because I don't know. You're not from Siam. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know.
NASA, do me a favor. Just fly to the moon, would you?
Well, that's kind of what a bunch of people tweeted at them. Your job at NASA is to explore space and understand the cosmos, not appease the woke cult through virtual signaling. Thank you. And then there's this. Could you just, I don't know, focus on space travel?
Right.
You know, math. Not worry about the ethnicity of the person who is best at, math. Cause political correctness is nowhere near as important as the accuracy of the trajectory. Another person wrote. They confused me completely there. There goes black holes. Another person mocked. My God, even you have been compromised. We are done for. It's been a fun ride, folks.
Tell you what. You got till the end of August, radical left. End of August to change whatever you want. Just go for it. After that, I don't want to hear a peep. Okay? You go woke for the next couple weeks, then we're done. Everything just stays. Okay? We good?
They could change quite a bit in 2 weeks, but...
Like they're not going to anyhow.
This person writes, Dear NASA, will you also address the following hurtful and insensitive terms? Big Bang Theory, Uranus, or Uranus. Either one of them are offensive. Black holes, dwarf stars.
Uh-oh, that's on the list.
And dark matter. Oh, my.
Yeah, it is.
Another person says, renaming black holes will end racism, guaranteed. So, okay, well, then we better do it.
Well, then
better do it.
Get some of these college football conferences on the phone, because that's what they were looking for, to end racism.
Right.
NASA apparently has the inside track. You know what this does? This delegitimizes them calling Pluto a planet, because we're on board with Pluto being a planet. NASA confirmed a couple of years ago Pluto is a planet. Now they're doing stuff like this, and it makes you wonder, maybe the Pluto thing, maybe they're wrong about that now.
Maybe.
Now I've got to reevaluate everything. Seriously, this madness...
It's got to stop.
We say it's got to stop.
But it doesn't.
It's never going to stop.
Keeps going, and it keeps getting worse.
I don't like that game.
Yeah, I don't either. But here we are. So what are you going to do?
And you're right. It's not where we're going.
Let's spin the wheel.
Where we are.
Let's spin the wheel.
Oh, wheel
of cancel.
Hey.
Again. Story number 4.
Story number 4. What's story number 4, Pat? Tell them what they've won.
You've won. Chicago area leaders calling for Illinois to abolish history classes.
Again.
And a brand new refrigerator freezer.
Wow!
Congratulations.
What's the next item up for bids?
Leaders in education, politics, and other areas gathered in suburban Evanston to ask that the Illinois State Board of Education change the history curriculum at schools statewide and temporarily halt instruction until an alternative is decided upon. Oh, good. An alternative like, I don't know, the 1619 project, maybe?
Boy, where'd you get that idea?
Oh, gosh.
You pulled that idea out of my hat,
pulled it right out of my hat. Huh. Yeah. At a news conference, State Rep LaShawn K. Ford said current history teachings lead to a racist society and overlook the contributions of women and minorities. That's not true if you've watched the Glenn Beck program in the last 10 years, because we featured an awful lot of black founders, things that progressives eliminated from history books long ago.
Yeah. Maybe this guy could just Open up a laptop, hook up an HDMI cable, go to YouTube, type in Glenn Beck, Fox News, Black Founders or Founders Friday, something like that. There's some great stuff on there with Black Founders that I've had my kids watch.
He says before the event Sunday, Representative Ford's office distributed a news release. Representative Ford today in Evanston to call for the abolishment of history classes in Illinois schools.
Right. They're not talking about just changing them.
No, they want to abolish the history.
We get rid of it, and then once we get it figured out, maybe we'll bring it back once we have the right history to teach.
And of course, that right history will be the 1619 Project.
Yes, it will.
Which is a different perspective. It's not factual based. They've admitted it too. It's not history.
No, it's perception.
Yeah, it's perception from black people.
It's just how we want your kids to think.
That's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And speaking of how we want our kids to think, this is a really strange development from Hasbro.
Oh gosh,
they have a new toy. Well, check this out. Here's a woman who demonstrates the new toy from Hasbro.
Okay, I wanted to do a quick video because I find this disturbing and I find it something that needs to be shared.
Just looking at it is
as you all know, stuff that's been going on in the world about
it's a doll.
The sex trafficking in kids and things that are thrown in our kids' faces to kind of groom them and make them kind of a little bit more oblivious to things that are that are really happening. So it was my daughter's birthday a couple days ago and she turned 2. And she was given this gift. It's like a little poppy doll. It's adorable. And here's the box.
Eyes are too big,
so she had a poppy birthday.
Right?
Yeah,
so they gave her
not
this.
proportionate to the rest of her body.
Yeah, I don't like that.
On the box,
it's about to get worse, though.
What?
Believe me. Yeah, it gets worse.
On the back,
it gets worse than just the crazy eyes doll?
Yeah.
If you push her tummy
here. Okay.
Sorry, it's glaring. If you push her tummy right here, she makes 10 phrases and sounds.
Oh, wow, 10? We got like 2 when I was a kid.
That's all it talks about, and it comes with a little comb.
That's cute, right?
So, I mean, she does all that. You touch her tummy, and she makes little singing sounds, and...
That's adorable.
That is.
She's super cute.
Okay.
Well, I was showing her to my husband, and I heard some other sounds that I had never heard before.
Oh, no.
And if you look...
Oh, no.
Down here, I figured a video was the best way. So I just touched her tummy, and she's going to sing for a minute.
Oh, good.
But down here is a button, here on her privates.
Oh, boy.
And if you push those, she makes these sounds.
Wow.
Like a gasping sound.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And I know some of you may not think this
creepy.
is a big deal, but especially since I've had kids, this is wrong. For one,
wrong.
This button, it says nothing about this button on the box. Nothing.
What's on the box?
It's just there. And it makes a gasping sound when you touch her privates.
We heard.
Yeah. I don't
and
like
to me,
that.
it's just like sexual sounds. And it's so disturbing.
Very. Yes. Very disturbing. Not cool.
Good night, America.
Why would Hasbro do that? I don't even understand the point of that. Why would you do that? How would you think parents are going to be good with that? All right, you got this button. You got a button where her privates would be, and it makes a gasping sound when you push it. That's just really creepy and horrible.
And they went out of their way. That button.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
I mean, it's not like they programmed the wrong sounds into the belly pushing, you know?
Right.
They went out of their way, manufactured a specific button.
Right.
And oh my goodness.
I don't get it.
That is creeptacular. Just normalize that stuff for your kids. So
is there another way you can imagine?
How do you spin that?
That there was what was the purpose for that? What's a legitimate purpose for putting a button like that where her privates would be and causing those sounds to come out of her?
Let's see. They're removing the troll doll.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, because they got caught, and they had to know they'd get caught. I mean, didn't anybody inspect that before you distributed it to stores everywhere?
That would be NAMBLA who inspected that doll.
Yeah, jeez,
my goodness,
that's crazy. How do you think that's okay?
So have they said, I mean, obviously they're removing them, but did they say anything when they...
Not that I've seen, like a statement on...
Okay, here we go. This feature was designed to react when the doll was seated, but we recognize the placement of the sensor may be perceived as inappropriate. How about what the thing is saying, too? So when you sit the doll down...
when you sit it down...
Oh! Ooh!
How do you think that's a good thing? Oh yeah, when she sits down, that'll be a great sound for her to make.
I've been back for less than 2 hours. I need another vacation.
Please I know, it's crazy.
This is not right.
It's
good luck
crazy.
Raising kids today. Thankfully, my kids are 12 and above, so they have the common sense foundation as they head into this insane world.
Mm-hmm.
But you're giving birth today to a kid entering this?
Yeah.
Ooh, you're going to need to be a superhero to raise them right.
That's for sure.
You are being assaulted on all fronts, in fronts we couldn't even imagine 6 months ago.
I'll say it again. It's a really good idea to homeschool your kids from here on out. If you can, please find a way, because there's just a lot that can go wrong at school. A lot. While overall American satisfaction with the State of the Union has dropped since the coronavirus outbreak this spring, Republicans have been especially dissatisfied in recent months. Gone from 80% satisfaction back in February, March-ish, 80% to 20% now. 20. But you think, how can you be, I'm sorry, you're satisfied with the way things are going right now? How could you possibly be? Let's see. The economy's in shambles. We've got a runaway epidemic, and we're wearing masks because it was mandated by the government. Huh. Yeah, I'm perfectly satisfied. We've spent $10 trillion in the last few months. Yeah, I'm totally satisfied. I don't know how you're satisfied with at this particular juncture. So it's not surprising that everybody, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or Independent, it's not surprising to me that your satisfaction level has dropped.
Which would make it even more surreal if Trump pulls out this victory in
November.
Would,
yeah. Yeah, it would.
To 20-something
20% for Republicans, it's 12% for Independents, and 7% for Democrats. But again, who's satisfied right now? Yeah, I'm totally happy with the way things are. It's great. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. It's tremendous.
Yeah, that troll doll sounded satisfying, but whatever.
Jeez.
What?
Kind of a different thing.
Who do you think's going to win in November? Gun to your head, so to speak.
I'm sticking with Donald Trump. I'm sticking with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I still have that feeling too, believe it or not, which means we're probably going to be wrong now. But does Biden know that he's going to have to, at some point, pick a running mate, right? He realizes this is a thing.
It's coming down to the wire here.
What is the latest someone has picked a running mate? I don't know, Keith. Look it up. Okay.
It's a good answer to your question, by the way.
Picked a running mate. Okay. Mm-hmm. We're just going to sit here in silence while we wait for my...
I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting.
Everything's about Joe Biden, and it's going to leave me out here hanging. Let's see here.
By the way, Colorado neighborhood took on Antifa.
Oh, yeah. What town was this in?
When they attacked a man in a wheelchair. It was in Fort Collins. So they went after a guy with a wheelchair, in a wheelchair, and a bunch of people came out of the neighborhood and beat the crap out of him.
That's not even the one I thought you were going to talk about. My goodness. It's everywhere, man.
Police had to come and save the Antifa commies. So here's what one of the residents of the neighborhood wrote. So we're currently marching the Antifa commie bastards out of the neighborhood because nobody wants Antifa in the neighborhood. Nobody wants them here. So we're marching them out. Oh, that's great stuff.
I mean, they warned us they were coming to the neighborhoods. Well,
and
we're ready.
Yep. The protesters were labeled commie scum, and they were henceforth shown the way out of the neighborhood. A man with a bullhorn announced as they were leaving, "You guys came to the wrong city, boys and girls." I love Americans taking back their area, their town, their state, their country. It's a way to. I mean, what do you? what are we supposed to do other than defend ourselves and our property and our areas?
Yeah. Well, and unlike the cities, Antifa is learning the suburbs are a little bit more prepared.
Different. Yeah, a little bit different situation there. Do we know what the latest is?
Don't ask me this.
No, okay, you still haven't found it, obviously. Okay, congratulations.
It's tough to search for that. Like, closest to election. I don't know. I just, whatever.
Can't find it.
Maybe November 1st he'll finally tell us. Yeah, I'm finding no.
Well,
answer.
I mean, that's 2 days in advance.
Right.
So the election's not till the 3rd. I mean, what do you want to know?
What did we say? We are exactly 1 month, maybe a few days removed from the early voting starting. September 10th, I believe. Yeah, September 10th. So, yeah, 1 month from today, early voting starts in some states.
Wow.
They got to print ballots at some point.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. I wonder if it'll just say Biden team. What'll it say?
Oh, like the Washington Redskins are now a Washington football team?
Yeah.
It'll just say Joe Biden
just like that.
presidential team?
Uh-huh. Biden and running mate. 888-900-3393. Also, this Georgia high school I told you about that went back to school, and the first day there were photos taken of what the hall looked like when the kids got out of class and were going to their next, and it was just jam-packed with kids.
Yeah.
And hardly any of them were wearing masks. And so it was a big deal. In fact, the guy who took the photo was kicked out of school, and then I think they had to change that because there was a big uproar. What are you kicking him out of school for taking a picture of your crowded halls?
Yeah, and plus all the kids that would rather be in school than sitting in front of a computer with Zoom on probably already took care of scholastic justice and gave him a beat down for publicizing the crowded hallway.
Probably. So anyway, two were suspended for posting tweets and photos. And then later in the week, we find out that 9 people got the virus in that crowded school. I mean, 9 doesn't seem like that many. I don't know how big the school is, but it's got to be hundreds, if not thousands, right? So anyway, 6 students and 3 faculty members contracted the virus, and they shut down the school. And now they're online already. That quickly. Just 9 kids got it, so we're already going virtual for the school year, at least for a while. I mean, that was quick. And I think that's going to happen to a lot of things, a lot of places, a lot of different situations. So maybe that'll happen, with football when it returns, if it returns. You get 9 people on one team. They're going to shut down that team, maybe this season. I don't know.
What did I see? Cardinals haven't played baseball since July 29th or something like that.
Oh, the Cardinals, too?
Yeah. It's some date
really?
Like that. Yeah, it's been
July 29th?
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of 7.
It's August 10th!
And they're going to have a lot of 7-inning doubleheaders. That's for sure.
Oh, there's no way you can make up that many games.
By the way, on August...
It's like 12 games.
Yeah, on August 19th, 1976, President Gerald Ford chose Kansas Senator Bob Dole to... replace incumbent Vice President Nelson Rockefeller at the convention. So he wasn't announced till August 19th.
Okay, that's 9 days from now. Yeah. So he's still got some time to be the latest.
I wonder what election day was in 1976. See, we have to prorate it. I mean, because it might not have been November.
But okay. All right, let's do it.
November 2nd. Yeah, so, same 2nd? Exact day. So Biden, August 19th. When is the convention? When is the pseudo-convention for Milwaukee?
Good question. Sometime this month.
I mean, a good producer would answer his own questions.
We would.
Just ask them. Monday, a week from today. So it's the 17th through 20th. That ought to be a blast. Watching Zoom calls from delegates.
Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.